G'day beautiful souls, Liz Ross here. I'm a holistic relationship coach, counsellor, healer and registered nurse in Lake Macquarie, Newcastle, New South Wales, Australia. And I help neurodiverse women to create healthy relationships through healing their present or healing their past. Healing is all about becoming aware. And a question that came through yesterday through the community was all around, how do I reduce overwhelm and burnout as a neurodiverse woman? And I thought that was a great question and I wanted to answer that today. And to keep me on time, as I'm neurodiverse, I've just written down a 4-step process just before this live to assist. So firstly, we need to become aware. So there's an awareness or an identification. So when you become aware of, okay, this symptomology, so something's not right, I'm talking faster, or my heart's palpitating, or I'm feeling uncomfortable, or maybe there's some anxiety. So you're becoming aware or identifying the symptoms. That then gives you information on your next steps forward. So when you can become aware of intrinsically how you're feeling, that's a great step. And then you're going to acknowledge extrinsically. So what are the external factors that might be influencing that thought or feeling or behavior or reaction that you might be having? So that's the first step, awareness and identification of the symptoms or of the information that's coming through to you. Now, the second step is to reduce the overwhelm and to reduce the burnout. You need to prioritize what's important for you each day. Okay, so you might have a list of 100 things and you don't get through them or you don't look at them. Or you might just tick off maybe 1 or 2 of them and you're like, shit, I've got 10 to go. I've still got like 97 to go and I haven't done it. And then you might put yourself down and feel bad and self-deprecate, right? And we don't want that. So I want you to prioritize the power of 3. So what's important for you today? What are the 3 major tasks that you need to do? Is it to hydrate yourself? Is it to exercise? Is it to eat food? What is it that you need that's a priority? And list those 3 things down, just so it focuses. It allows your reticular activating system to focus on those things. Okay, now I wanted to add in, when you're prioritizing what's important to you to reduce the overwhelm and burnout, I know we can easily get distracted. Right? It's an easy thing to do. So what I like to do as a practical tool is I put on focus music. I might go for a walk beforehand, or like throughout the day I'll have breaks. I go for walks or I go to the gym on a lunch break sometimes. And that really helps me to self-regulate. So then I can come back and I'm like, what is actually important to tick off today? What is it that you need to do? Okay. And then you do that. Now, a book that might help is a book called Atomic Habits. If you want to read that book, I can't remember who it's by. It's a really, really good book. And it's all about the micro steps or the dolly steps. So starting with one thing at a time. So if we fill up our drink bottle every day and it's already filled up the night before and you've got your snack pack ready to put in your backpack for school or work or whatever you do for your life, great. You've already prepared that. You've already salt shaken it, as Dan would say. You've already prepared for that. You've created that atomic habit. So you know that when you see that water bottle on your desk, that you're going to probably drink more water more likely than if you don't have the water bottle there. You're just going to get distracted or not really think about it or not have it as a priority. And what is important for our cells and for our hydration and for our kidney function, and the list goes on. So we need to prioritize what's important. And what's important for some people might be exercise or going to the gym, and that's a bigger picture thing. Then you're getting to the basic stuff, like what's the atoms, or what is the first step to getting out of bed for people that sleep in or they're night owls or they have insomnia, right? What is the first step to help you to get to sleep? Like what is that first step for that sleep hygiene? Okay, so we might have a big overarching goal. Okay, so how do you strip it down? You should read the Atomic Habits book and think about, what are the small steps that I need to take to get to complete that task. Because a lot of the neurodiverse women I help, they're doing 3 to 5 different courses. They're working 3 to 5 different jobs. They want 5 different things at once. And honestly, I totally get you. ADHD is hectic. And I've literally had to like parent myself, and I'll get back on point in a sec. I've had to like reparent my inner child and say, hey, we can run around outside and play in the snow. It doesn't snow here, but play out in the rain in a sec. But right now, this is what we need to focus on. I have to literally do that every day. Come back and focus, come back and focus. I've literally wrote down a list to stay focused so I don't talk too much. So it's like, or change the topic to too much. So when we understand, if we fill up our plate too much, it gets really, 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 really hard and more difficult. I don't study anymore, right? I finished my last course November 2024, and I made a commitment to myself that I'm taking 5 or 10 years off from study, because that's no longer my priority. I've done education for since I just kept doing education, right? Until I was 35. Okay, that's a long time. And sometimes we no longer need to keep doing the education. We need to implement what we've learnt. Okay, and we need to have confidence in what we're learning and what we've done. So sometimes it's not about doing all the things at once, because that's going to overwhelm you. And if you feel overwhelmed, imagine your nervous system feeling overwhelmed. It's in overdrive. So it's in the sympathetic nervous system where it's stressed out. It's in flight and flight response. Then you get out of your body and you go into your brain and you overthink. Then you criticize yourself. You might get angry at your family or loved ones or partner, and then you've lost yourself. You've dropped all the chips because you're like, you had too many things on. Okay, so we need to reduce the things that we're doing and prioritize, well, what is the 1 to 3 things that are really important in your life right now? Like if you're about to become a parent, that's probably your priority, is to become a parent, a mom or a dad or a parent. And that's great. That's your season for the next 20 years. You might have 2 other things under that might be a priority. Okay, like your self-care and your connection with your partner. Fantastic. For other people, if they chose not to be parents, or they're wanting to work full-time in their business or career, then their priority is education and training, or their career or business. So those are their priorities. They might then add in extra reading or training on top of that, or exercise to help their brain to bring in the information. So what season are you in your life will help you to create what your top 3 priorities are for the year, for the month, for the week, and for the day. All right, so where you look at the bigger picture and then you bring it down to what's important. And then I'm going to talk on the 4 Ds. So that's all around looking at what you can delete, what you can delegate, what you can defer, and what you can do. So things you might delete are distractions like scrolling or your phone. So sometimes I put my phone on airplane mode. You might delete apps on your phone that are distracting. Okay. You might defer tasks to your partner or your family, or defer it for another time if it's not like a top priority. Okay, so I deferred the gym today and had a rest day, and I did a lot of self-care. So I went to the acupuncturist and to the chiropractor. I accidentally double booked due to whatever was going on at the time. So then with that, I've deferred the gym. So it's not that it's not a priority, but I did other things that were for self-care and health. Okay, so that was my priority for today, and we need rest and recovery. So if you want to go to the gym 7 days a week, high five, well done. But when are you having your rest periods? That type of thing. Then the other D is delegate. So I said defer. So I might delegate things to my partner. So if I'm unwell or if I'm working overtime, I might say, hey babe, is it okay if you cook dinner tonight? Or can we cook dinner together? So I might delegate out to other people that are good at that role. So then it supports me. Okay, so it's okay and safe to ask for help. And then there's things that we might do. So what are the things on your priority list for today, for the week, for the month, for the year? And you do the small daily steps towards it. Okay, because what we do, it needs to be consistent, because consistency compounds over time. It's a 1% over 365 days of the year equals a 365% change. And people forget that, because they put too much shit on their plate. They over worry, they overthink, and then they forget who they are. They forget what their goals are. They forget to keep going. And a lot of neurodiverse people will start things and change things, but they never complete things. Why? For many reasons. Okay, because firstly, they've got too much on their plate and they distract themselves and they blame what they think the problem is the problem, and that's not the problem. The problem is less is more. Less is more, okay? We need to remember this as a society. Now, the third thing, and then I'm going to what I'll do after I explain and give examples, I'm then going to go through at a very basic level, and I'll be like 4 dot points or 4 dot point it. So the third thing, when you're wanting to overcome overwhelm and burnout, I've probably said this, complete one thing at a time. I've put there, so we complete one thing at a time. One thing. That's how I coach, that's how I counsel. People come to me, I want to achieve these 10 goals. Which one, like what's going to help you to move towards that? What's the most important? And then we work on that one goal. Because then you can focus all of your energy, all of your time, all of your focus on that. Okay, so we complete one thing at a time. We start it and we complete it. We don't just start it and then start another task and then start another task, because then nothing ever gets done. So then the fourth thing is we need to add in self-care. If you want to reduce your overwhelm to prevent burnout, you need to add in self-care every day. So if that's meditation, if that's going for a walk, if that's breath work, if that's ice baths, that's going to shift your nervous system. You don't need to meditate for an hour a day. Just start with 1 minute to 3 minutes a day, and that will change your brain. That will change how you feel and change how you think and change how you see the world. So now I'm going to dot point it. How do you overcome overwhelm and burnout as a neurodiverse woman? Firstly, you become aware of it, you identify it. You become aware and identify the symptoms. That then gives you information. Okay, so that equals information. From that information, you then prioritize what's important to you. The power of 3, the 3 things that are important for you in your season of life for that year, for that month, for that week, and that day. So you look at the bigger picture and then you bring it down to little steps. And you bring it down to the little steps by looking at the 4 Ds. What can I delete, delegate, defer, and what are the things I can do? Read the Atomic Habits book. That will give you more information on how to prioritize and to start small and work your way up. Third thing, complete one thing at a time. Start it, complete it. And fourth thing is add in self-care. And that's it for today. This is how to overcome overwhelm and burnout for neurodiverse women. If you have any questions, let me know. Join my free group, Create Healthy Relationships Through Healing Now. If you want to work with me, we've got 1 week until the Solstices Mastermind online. This is for neurodiverse women that are wanting to create healthier relationships. So we start Tuesday night in 1 week from the 18th of March until the 3rd of June for 12 weeks. We meet Tuesday nights at 5 to 6:30 p.m. Sydney time. And I'm going to coach and counsel you each week on various topics. And you'll have an ebook and videos that go with that ebook for that 12 weeks that you can do self-paced. So some of the topics that you'll read through are on communication, family of origin, healing, communications, feminine and masculine energy, inner child work, to name a few. And it takes you through healing, the energetics, your psychology, and creating balance, which is going to help you to have a healthier relationship with yourself and other people. So if you're wanting to join this 12-week mastermind, it's the final one for 2025 because I'll be away on family commitments after that. So yeah, there's a special deal on. I wanted to make it really, really budget friendly for everyone. It's $84 per week on a payment plan for 12 weeks, or $999 Australian for 12 weeks of support. That is cheap as chips, okay? If you get your hair or nails done once a week and you buy like a couple of bottles of wine every week or weekend, imagine putting that money towards your self-care, your mental health, and a community of women that are going to support you, and you'll have accountability week by week. If you're interested in that, just direct message me or book in a 30-minute call. All right, remember that you are loved, you are worthy, you are significant, and each and every one of you have the purpose here. God bless. Happy Tuesday, and I'll talk to you all soon. It's now time for a family dinner out. So yeah, I'm off. I'll talk to you through the week. Bye.